Something on your mind you wanna talk about. Slip in Brandon's tub and talk it out. It's Hot Tubs, Hot Takes. Hot Tubs, Hot Takes.
Welcome to Hot Tub Hot Takes, the Socratic Soaking Symposium. I am your host, and today we have a guest. Aria, do you mind just informing me who we have today? I love meeting new friends in tubs. Today we are with Joel Reyes Clan.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Are you potassium deficient by any chance?
Yeah, actually, at the moment.
All right, I'm going to help you with that. I know in your rider, you said you... Hold on, excuse me. Good stuff. Do you mind peeling mine when you put your microphone down?
Oh, no doubt.
Thanks. Thank you so much. You want some peanut butter?
Peanut butter, yeah, yes.
All right, can we have some peanut butter?
Wow.
Just spread it on the banana if you don't mind. There you go. You got it. Here, you want to take a little bit of that?
Hell yeah.
Cool.
That's enough.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the tub.
Thanks.
We've never met, and I feel like we bonded over potassium really quick.
Yeah,
All right,
that way.
can I see that note card again? I just need to see what we're talking about today. I could get caught up in bananas all day, but... Okay, so you come in here with a take, and that take is that cars are the worst invention in the 20th century.
That's right.
Can you give me like a 1-minute opening statement just so we have a place to work from about why cars are the worst invention in the 20th century?
I can try. So they're bad for a few reasons. They're pretty bad for the environment, the local environment as well as the world. A lot of pollution, a lot of disruption of local ecosystems, the way that roads are set up and whatnot. They're expensive for individuals, for society. Like, how much do you pay for your car insurance?
I think my mom paid for it, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's just expensive. And a lot of people can't afford it. And on top of that, people just, they should have other options for getting around. You should be able to take a bus. You should be able to get around easy. And another reason is just because it really just tends to like destroy communities too, because then you got to drive everywhere. You don't got like your friends nearby. You can't just walk over to their house. You can't just walk to a corner store. It's like you got to like hop in a car, drive 15, 20 minutes just to like get around. And it's like when you want to go out at night, what options do you have to get around besides just hopping in the car?
So, could you not think of any worse invention in all of the 20th century? Like, maybe we can make a compelling argument for why it might not be the greatest, but the worst is a pretty hot, divisive word. What makes it worse than any other invention in that whole century?
For sure. So, like, the nuclear bombs are pretty bad, but, like, we only used them a couple times. But cars, those are getting used every day, destroying countless environments, ruining countless lives. And really, there's a cumulative effect is what it is. And when you look at that across regions, across just small communities, it really tends to have ripple down effects that we really don't notice just because we're so used to it. We're conditioned to like the normality of cars.
Now, I could see it's hard for me to argue against some of the reasons why cars might not be useful in this time, like right now. But when something's invented, we have to think of it in the context of when it was invented. So at the time that it was invented, could you see why it might have been a good idea at that time? Or are you saying from the get-go, this is one of, as the philosopher Nick Bostrom would say, there are some red balls that we pull out of the urn that we wish we never pulled out, but once we pulled out, it's too late. Was this one of those red balls in the urn, kind of like nuclear bomb, which is another red ball? Was that kind of a red ball that we pulled out that we never should have, or did it have its time and place?
I think that's right. I think it was always kind of destined to be on this track for mass consumption and just mass kind of overuse. It's good for traveling medium distances, like for sure. When it comes down to it, like the effect that it's had is on our built environment is drastic. Like you think about human scale environments, that's what we had up until the invention of cars. So you had like narrow streets, big buildings, dense communities, and then you have cars come along, and places start to be built around cars. So we have an autocentric society, really, where you have these freeways that just jut through communities, where you have these downtown areas that are just unsafe for pedestrians and kids and seniors. We got to think about those people.
So you think we've prioritized vehicles over people?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say to someone who agrees with you, but needs their car to get to work, or needs their car to, drop their kids off at school? Do you think it's on the onus of the consumer to fight back against this catastrophe, or is it up to larger societal change for the consumer to then reap the benefits?
I think it's more on governments need to act, because consumers can't really change too much on their own. They don't really have options. Like here in Detroit, we can't just decide like, I don't want to drive my car, because everywhere is just so like stuck in this space where it's like, if you want this job, you need to get a car. Like, you take the bus. I don't know if you can really do that. So just with that lack of options, I think that really means that we need to look to alternative systems that we can build, like buses and trains. Like, have you been in New York or D.C. before?
Yeah, I lived in New York for a bit.
For sure. So how'd you like their transit system?
I actually loved it.
For sure, yeah. So you see how easy it is to get around there. You don't have to worry about ordering an Uber or paying car insurance or whatnot. You can just get around, and it's pretty easy.
But have we kind of messed that up? At least where Hot Tub Hot Takes is filmed in Michigan.
Hot Tub Hot Takes is filmed in front of a live studio audience. DM us now to reserve your ticket.
Royal Oak specifically. And we've kind of, everyone's so spread out that how do you properly create a system when it's this spread out in like a suburban environment, whereas New York is kind of more city-based?
For sure. So I think that might kind of start with just trying to orient people around transit. So maybe you might build like a new apartment building in Royal Oak where a whole bunch of people can live, and and then from there they can all just kind of create this community where they don't have to worry about driving around in circles. Like that, maybe they can sustain themselves in that area, but just from their population. Like you said, you lived in New York.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff in New York that's not in Detroit, right? So name like some kind of like food that you can get in New York that you can't get here.
A Cat's Deli corned beef sandwich.
For sure.
I can get corned beef here, but I can't get a Cat's Deli corned beef.
Yeah, that's true.
They also call their gyros gyros.
So
I can technically get the food, but I can't get the idea.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you miss that?
I was vegan at the time, so I didn't even eat it.
Oh, well, I mean, that's cool, though. Yeah, these fucking cars, man. A lot of old people, they drive around, and it's hard for them to get around, too. Like, what were you supposed to do when you're, like, blind and you can't drive around?
Yeah, I don't have that answer.
Yeah.
So what about these flying cars that they're developing?
I don't think that's a solution to our problems either.
But it's cool.
It's hella cool.
Yeah,
Cars are pretty cool. Like they make like loud noises and stuff. They go really fast.
What about self-driving ones?
That's scary too.
Does that scare you? I'm more scared about the idea of. I'm more scared of the idea of like people behind vehicles than robots.
That's really scary. I mean, a bunch of people, like 80 million people, die every year from vehicles.
Yeah.
So that's quite a few, and I don't think adding more, putting more vehicles out there is going to fix the solution.
What do you say you and I go for a joyride?
Right now?
Yes, in a car.
What you got?
Ford Escape 2017 SE.
You can check it out.
It's leased.
Okay, can we bring
lease it in
we can
August.
bring the hot tub?
No, this stays put. But
I don't.
there's some. Oh,
I mean, it sounds cool, but yeah.
there you have it. I think the conclusion we're coming to, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that if you can't get a hot tub in a car, we're not going to be able to salvage this mess.
That's pretty much it.
We're in a pickle. I'm wearing a banana peel. This has been a guest. I'm a host. As always, you're a viewer. We'll catch you next time in the tub.